morning. So if I get emotional, please excuse me. It's not sadness. I'm just full of thankfulness. Today is, this month is National Brain Tumor Month, which meant nothing to me before. But my testimony is a testimony of thankfulness and gratitude for what God has done in my life and what he healed me from. He's healed me. He's done so much. So much I can't explain. There's too much to go through. But this is one day that I never expected that would come. I never thought someone would tell me I had a brain tumor. So this is how my story began. On May 9th, 2017, I had a gamma knife radiation surgery for an inoperable brain tumor that had turned into a mass. This May 9th will be a year after my surgery. I will have to see a surgeon for the next 10 years, but note, my brain tumor is dead because my God said I am healed. So that's what it is. It's dead, and I'm thanking him every day for every day that he's given me. I always thought I was unbreakable. I did. I always thought my health, seemed fine. I didn't have anything major, no illnesses, no diseases. But in 2016, things seemed to change. I went in for pain on the left side of my head that I had for 3 days, and my husband kept threatening to take me to the hospital. So I'm not going to call the doctor. I'm going to call the doctor. And finally, I went in, and she called me later that day, and she said, you're good. I thought you had an aneurysm, but you're fine. And note, the pain was on the left side of my head. And I know that it was God that led me there because she said, it's kind of weird, Lenora. I didn't, it's unbeknownst to me that you have a little tiny grain tumor, a little tiny, tiny grain on the other side of your head, but it's nothing. It's nothing. And I thought, oh, okay, you're right. It's nothing. So I wasn't fazed by the idea of having a brain tumor. I truly wasn't even worried. I really didn't even think about it, to be honest. See, the doctor said it was nothing. And I had faith that God was going to remove the tumor and all the glory and honor was going to be his. See, I was blessed to see God move in my life and was able to recognize that it was him that had changed things in me and for me. And if you go to Philippians 1:6, it says, to be confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. So I knew that I was confident that God had me. I know that he can and he will. So when I had my recheck the next year in 2017, I knew that my testimony would be. I thought I was going to go in after my MRI and that he was going to say, oh, there's no tumor. I don't know what anybody's talking about. So I went to see the neurosurgeon. I was referred to him immediately. I had gone in for my MRI, and within a week, I had gotten a call while I was home recovering from another unexpected emergency surgery. And she said, Lenore, I know you're recovering, but I just want to let you know that little tumor we talked about is now turned into a mass. And you're going to have a quick referral to see the surgeon, and I need you to get there this week. So I went in to see him on that following Friday with my sister, and he said, that we're going to have to do immediate surgery. It's not something to wait on because the location of my tumor was over on my right side, over my nerves, where it would have caused to go in to operate on it. I would have blindness, paralysis, death, strokes, and seizures. So he said, we have to get in now to do the gamma knife. That's your only other option because it's not too big yet for a gamma knife, which is radiation surgery. It will not remove the tumor, but it will kill your tumor. So I said, okay. Left there and was consoling my sister, letting her know, God's got me. I'm good. So I didn't expect the outcome to be this. I had expected God to move on a different level, forgetting that his ways are higher than my ways. He says in Isaiah 55:8-9, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. I had to have confidence that was the case, that he knew better than I did. So I left feeling confident that he had me. Well, that's what I told myself anyways. Really deep down, I didn't understand why my prayers weren't answered. why was my tumor still there? When I had prayed and prayed and prayed that whole year for a miraculous healing, I wanted him to have the glory and honor and praise, not understanding that despite all that, he was still going to have the glory and honor and praise. But I didn't realize that he was going to do things the way he chose to do things. So the next day, I woke up and I was getting ready to head to leadership, and my husband left before me because I had mentioned I was still recovering and moving slowly. So I broke down. And I asked him, I said, God, why is this tumor now a mass? What is that? Why? Why do I have to go through this now? Why didn't you answer my prayers? Why? That's all I kept saying. He spoke in my spirit and he said, did I not lead you to the doctors the year before? Did I not heal your marriage? Have I not provided for you when you were in need? All I heard from him was, I am here and I have answered. He said, if I did all these things for you, why would I not heal you now? He didn't tell me he was going to heal me miraculously. But what he did do is he gave me peace. Peace. That no matter what I was going to go through, that he was going to take me through it. That he had already been there before me. And that his grace was sufficient. As his word says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. See, God knows the plans he has for us. Our lives are his and not ours. Jeremiah 29:11, he says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. This sickness cannot and will not defeat me because God already had been preparing me. So I know that it was him. All I needed to do was to grab onto the hem of his robe and to continue to have faith and trust in him. That his word and his promise is truth. He is not a liar. God is not a liar. His word is truth. This is his truth right here. And he is faithful and righteous. And I understand now that however he chose to heal me, it was still a healing. No matter how he chose to do it, it was still a healing. So I'm here to tell you that we serve a mighty God. Had I not listened to him when he called me, he tugged me, he pulled me, he dragged me, I wouldn't have been able to stand strong and have faith in him through not just this so-called brain tumor. As I mentioned, was inoperable, but it's dead. But after that, I've had 2 strokes. I've had minor strokes. In December also, there was a spot on my mammogram, but I had faith and I knew that God was going to take me through that. So when I went in for my recheck, that was gone. There was no spot because our God is bigger than all these things. But I went through each day with joy in my heart because I knew that he had already been there. And he was going to take me through it, and he had not left me. He'd shown me. He'd proven that to me. It's like, how much do I have to tell you? How much do I have to show you that I love you that much? So, by God's grace, again, I am still here. If you're waiting to call on God when all the heck breaks loose, I just want to tell you, don't. Stop playing church just on Sundays. Don't go to a building. The church is within you. It's starting to have a relationship with God, your Father, who loves you. We were created to have a relationship in him, to fellowship, and most of all, why? Because he loves us. He loves us so much that he allowed us to have the choice in loving him. But all the while, he is still loving us. Even when we don't. He didn't create us because he needed us. God is sovereign. Sovereign, which is supreme in power, possessing superior dominion, supreme, all what Webster Dictionary says, superior to all others. There's absolutely nothing. What it means is there's absolutely nothing that happens that is outside of his control, his guidance, and his authority, and his understanding. Again, his word is truth. He is our Father, our God. In Revelations 21:6, he said to me, it is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give water without cost from the spring of the water of life. He is everything, everything. All this makes him worthy of our worship and our praise. And that's what I have, is thanksgiving and worship and praise for God, my Father, because he continues to bless me. He blessed me with my family. There's nothing that he hasn't blessed you with. He's already set that out in motion. Your family members, my father who's here, my brother, they were already decided for me, and I'm blessed. My husband was already decided for me, and I'm blessed. I was just having to be obedient. God loves you and only wants the best for you. So pull yourself out of the mix and stop the, oh, woe is me, and have a relationship with your Father. Don't wait to get on your knees here, in your car, in your room, in your kitchen while you're cooking, and talk to him. He wants to hear from you. He wants to help you, and he wants you to have everything according to his will, because it's not our will. And he knows that what's out there that we may want or desire is going to harm us, so he may not let us have those things, and that's okay. It doesn't mean he doesn't love us. He still wants to do things for us according to his will. So don't go and eat. Don't go and sit down with your Father and not fellowship with him. Don't go to dinner and not speak and talk and love and share from him. Don't go and eat and leave. Spend time with him. Love him. Thank him for everything. And let him do what he's come to do in your life, and allow him to do those things. Because our God, there's nothing he can't do. There's nothing he can't do. Remember that his strength is your strength. In Isaiah 40:29. 40:29. He says, he gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on the wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. So when life feels like it's coming apart and it's crashing down, and you can't take another step, you call upon your God. You ask him to renew your strength, because he will, and he's done that. Make that decision to have a relationship. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. Make your decision today. Let today be your decision to allow him to have that relationship with you. Seek him out. You can't lose with God. You just can't. He loves you despite yourself and your mess. That's right. He loves you despite yourself and your mess. I know real well. He'll never leave you. He's just waiting. He's waiting patiently and faithfully for you to call on him. So that's my thankfulness to God for what he's led me through, what he's going to continue to take me through, because there will be more things coming my way, but I'm going to take joy in everything that comes my way. I'm going to take joy and be thankful, because I know that he is building me up for his kingdom, that my job is to do his will, and my job is to serve him here, and that all I have to look forward to is spending an eternity with God my Father, because this is not death. This is not death. When I die here, when my body is left here, I will be with God my Father. That's what's important. So don't wait again till tomorrow. Do what you need to do today. Thank you. I love you all.